If you look at the three major averages, we are indeed seeing declines here for them. And all three of them, last I checked, were down by about 1% as we got out of the gate here this morning. If we look on the intraday basis, although the Dow is doing the least bad of the three, interestingly enough. I was just looking at the trending tickers because I really want to dive right into where we are seeing the most movement here, and that is in First Republic Bank. First Republic down 75% over the past 3 days. This morning alone, we saw it plunge by 65%. It got halted for volatility. That's something that was happening periodically during the session on Friday as well. This is one of the other banks that is perceived as having the same types of exposure, and so it's interesting to see it continue to drop to this extent, even with the measures that were taken over the weekend. Still seeing that stock decline is alarming, right? Charles Schwab shares down 18%, even though, Saz, I believe you were saying there was an upgrade for Charles Schwab over at Citi.
Yes.
Nonetheless, still a lot of selling going on in Citi. And if you look at the 3-day chart there, you're seeing a 37% decline. Signature Bank's on this trending ticker list, although obviously, it's not trading this morning because federal regulators shut that bank down. It is a crypto-oriented bank, whereas we think of SVB as being more Silicon Valley. Signature Bank based in New York and did cater to a lot of crypto clients. So that stock was down 32% over 3 days before being halted because the government took it over. Roku as well is one of the companies that has disclosed exposure to Silicon Valley Bank, probably the largest publicly traded company that has talked about the largest exposure. Again, it is getting that money back under this government plan, but the stock is still continuing to gap lower this morning. It's down about 8%. And let's take a look as well, a bigger look at some of the groups within the S&P 500. I want to take a look at sectors real quick here. The financials down the most by a long shot here. Right now, down 4.4%. If we look at the 3-day chart here of the financials, down by about 10%. We've got energy, we've got materials down as well. Consumer staples is the only group that's in the green. So it looks like people looking for some safety here. Also, if we look at the banks more specifically, what we're seeing, look at that. Saz, JP Morgan is in the green. That's what we saw
Beacon of safety
last week. That's what it's seen as, which is really fascinating here because you're not seeing Bank of America higher. Like, what is it about JP Morgan? Maybe we can delve into that with some of our guests as well. And then regional banks as well are seeing big declines here. I'm going to call up the meme stocks and let you talk about the memes a little bit here this morning as well, Saz.
Yeah, meme stocks, Julie, in the pre-market, they actually caught bids higher. Bed Bath & Beyond at one point was up 7%. GameStop was higher. AMC was higher. Now we're seeing all of those losses. All those gains reverse here. Now all three of those meme stocks, which were strange because they shouldn't be viewed as a beacon of safety in this environment. These are some of the worst run companies, worst fundamentals in the business, and yet investors were at least piling into those names in the pre-market. And I should note they are relatively
still up, actually.
Yeah, they're relatively outperforming in this morning.
Oh, now it's down 3.5%. I don't know that they were seen as safety. It was more a matter of the initial sort of knee-jerk risk on, because we did see the futures higher very early on in the session after we had the government announce this news, and then those gains kind of melted away as time went on. Let's also, why don't we get a check on crypto as well, because we were just talking about Signature, right? This is the 2-day. I'm going to take a look at the 1-day here for underlying cryptos. Actually, Bitcoin is up. Fascinating. Ethereum is trading up as well, which is not necessarily what you would expect. And if you look at the crypto stocks, quite a few of them trading higher as well. Go figure.
Lots to watch.